Well, hello, my beautifuls. Hello. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I had the wrong stuff pulled up. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We can cover true crime and what the story we have right before Thanksgiving. It is a shocking case. An undefeated coach is on the run right now. We learned that this undefeated coach was missing and we didn't know anything really about it. And then the truth started trickling out that law enforcement is searching for this man because of CSam allegations. That is correct. An undefeated Virginia football coach, high school football coach, around all those young, impressionable girls that are in and around the school and cheerleaders and stuff like that. And he's watching CSam. Is he watching it while he's on the job? Because most of these coaches are teachers, right? Most of these coaches are teachers. So we're going to be diving into this, folks. We're going to be diving into this morning. Good morning, Eeyore Blues. Melanie, it's nice to see you. Busy Mama at home, it's nice to see you. Nikki, it's nice to see you. If you're here for the first time, I'm really sorry you're not going to be able to communicate in the chat. I believe you might be able to use like the super chat. I don't even know how that works, to be honest with you. But I apologize. We try to keep the trolling down on this chat. We're a true crime community. And we have, there's people out there that get their rocks off by being mean to people that are trying to help find innocent, helpless people. I don't get it. I will never understand it, but it is what it is. So in an effort to make this a healthy community and make sure that we're not being attacked or seeing ugly things in our chat, I put a 2-day requirement on it. And it just has a way. I did 5 days at first, but it seems like the 2 days is working. I don't want to put 5 days on it unless I absolutely have to. We had 5 days before, and we kept it 5 days for literally a year. If you wanted to talk, you waited 5 days. So I'm trying to work this out a little bit with you guys, but that's kind of where we're at. Mama, it's nice to see you. Lisa B. Always. Good morning. What a great little coffee cup. This was from Sonia. If you guys remember, we also have the matching shirt for this. And it's Christ offers forgiveness for everyone, everywhere. Coffee. Again, comes with a shirt. I think she might even be might be a little funky on a hat, but, a little tote shirt. We are a Christian family. I'm sure somebody would love this little pairing combination, a shirt and a coffee cup. You can wrap the little shirt, stick it in the coffee cup, and put it in a little bag and make it a nice little gift. Yeah? Yeah? I think so. It's nice. It's nice. Freeside, it's nice to see you. Kemily, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Lisa, did I say hi to you? I got 2 Lisas this morning, so I'm going to say hi to you both. Tammy, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. Thanksgiving is knocking on our doors, folks. Hey, Big Mac Mike, it's nice to see you. I hope everyone is lazy journalist. What is he being charged with? CSam. Apparently had, child P. CSam. He had it on his... apparently his devices. What we learned, and I didn't really cover this case because I was monitoring it, but I had some other stuff I already promised you we were going to talk about, like Lily and Jack, right? We hadn't touched their case in a little while, and then I decided to, hey Maggie, it's nice to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, honey. I hope you're well. And so he was missing at first, and so I saw the missing person. But if I have a chance to talk about a missing child versus a missing adult, I'm going to talk about the missing child. Okay, so we had already had scheduled on our show Lily and Jack Sullivan, so that took a couple days. And so I was watching this, and I saw this legendary, not legendary. He's not like a Bobby Bowden type of legendary, but he's an undefeated coach. He's having an amazing year. People in the community really like this guy. And all of a sudden, one day they wake up, he's gone. And law enforcement is putting this out, touting this out, that this guy is a missing coach, right? So we have a missing coach. Nobody knows or is the wiser. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, he's missing, and then they drop the bombshell. Like, we're investigating him for CSam, and basically he's not missing. He's on the run. So we've got a Virginia football coach right now, this man right here, Travis Turner, and he is on the run. He is on the run because he has, it sounds like he knew that they must have been investigating. Somebody must have approached him and said, hey, we have to investigate you. We turn over your computers. They may have gotten a warrant to get the computers and phone. He may have chose to remain silent, and they may have had no choice but to let him go home. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's gone. He flees. We don't know how deep this is. Is this something that he's had a problem with for a while? I mean, a coach is around children. How long has his coaching career have been? Did he start out in young, children's coaching? You want to ask these questions because you got a freak. Okay, normal people aren't searching the freaking internet for kids. Okay, so you got a freak here, and this freak is around children. So we've got a problem. Hello, Houston, we have a problem, right? He might be hiding over. Yeah. Oh, I bet he's hiding with relatives. I don't know. See, this is where it gets kind of hinky because, I know me. Okay, I got a few nuts in my family. Believe me, my dad's side of the family, he broke a nasty cycle in our family. There can be a lot to be said about my dad, but one thing he did is he broke a nasty cycle in our family. He raised us much different. Most of his family, foster care, parents leave, abuse, alcohol, substances and everything. That's my dad's, side of the family. He was put in foster care, and he had a horrible time in foster care. The things that they did to those boys in foster care back when my father was in foster care, those people should have been jailed and literally taken out to the pasture. Okay, I'm just going to say it like that. What my father went through in foster care was awful. Okay. But either way, no matter what his walk was, his horrible walk that he had to endure as a child, and then growing up with all of those things, he turned out to be a very good person that ended the cycle. Now, there were a lot of, like I said, he came from a lot of problems, so it wasn't hunky-dory. Those things that when it got bad, and it was really bad, those things kind of messed me up a little bit, but when they were good, they were great. I will tell you that. But the reason why I'm saying this is because even if my cousins or something did something like this, and I do love my family, the crazy ones at all, okay, they're my family. They're when you have a family, you get frustrated with your family members, but they're still your family. You can't change that. You still love them. They still have your blood running through their body, and likewise, you have their blood running through yours. So you try to be there. You don't cover up for somebody, but you always try to be there, and you always try to be family, good family, right? That's what family is all about. It's being there in the bad times, not just the good times. So if my family did this, would I harbor? No. There's no way. No way. I would see myself slamming the door in my family's face. Literally, get the hell off my property. I love you. Call me when you're in jail. I'll send you some commissary. Have a great day. Just like that. Okay? Just like that. Thank you. I loved seeing you. It's great seeing you, cuz, but you got to go. Okay? You ain't bringing this shit to my house. Okay? See you later. Bye. You got about 20 minutes. I'm going to have to call the law, let them know that you're here. Okay. So you got 20 minutes to get going. I'll give you a 20-minute head start. Have a great day. God bless. And I have to think normal people are like that, but there are some people we know because we cover true crime here on this channel, right? We cover true crime on this channel. And so we know that there are family members that stick their neck out way too far for their family members. So could family or friends be helping them? Yeah, in part because there's going to be some people that just will not believe he did this, okay? There's just people that are just going to look at him and see the best in him and absolutely not believe that he could possibly do this. And he's going to be so convincing that he's being set up, right? That's the MO of these people. They're setting me up. Why in the hell would somebody just pick on you? Oh, that's right. He's undefeated coach. Okay, this is a psych op, thing because they want to take Virginia State down. Okay, it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. So, I really think we're gonna read some articles here and get up to snuff on here, so you guys have all the information that I have. But this is not sounding good, and I'm hoping that we can learn a little bit more. I pulled up a couple articles. Two of the articles I haven't read yet. Oops. Okay. So Travis Turner is no longer missing. This is the coach, undefeated coach right now from a high school in Virginia. I think it's Union High School, if I remember. I remember Union when I was reading this, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Union High School. And Travis Turner is a fugitive high school football coach wanted for child P charges. It's not the first teacher from Union High School to face such allegations. Underage solicitations, it has emerged. They're actually soliciting underage stuff. He's 46 years old. He's my age. Okay, is the head coach of the Virginia team at this Union High School, but was last seen entering the woods near his home as special agents headed to interview him as part of an ongoing investigation. So, as part of the ongoing investigation, like I said, he had to have known because they don't just split. He had to have known. So they were investigating him, talking to him. He knew that the noose was closing in on him. Remarkably, it has now emerged that Turner is not the first coach at this tight-knit school accused of similar crime. So they got a problem here in Virginia. But I'm finding this to be true in a lot of areas of the country. They protect these people, and they just, it's this ecosystem, this unhealthy ecosystem. And we're seeing it all. It's not just immune to, this is not just Virginia. I see similar stuff. I think At Night Private or Creative Intelligence is actually talking about Sumner County, a similar situation, not to this degree at all that I've seen. But this is pretty significant. And then we find out other employees have also been charged kind of like this. Hey, Denise, it's nice to see you, love. So they've been seen entering the woods near his home. Let me just do one thing here. I'll move this down so we can have some community moderation. Oh, it's not letting me delay. It's just subscribers. Let's change this. We'll get it to 20 minutes so some people can discuss. I see there's some people that look like on the back end are wanting to talk about this. So I've relieved it. It looks like we're doing good so far this morning. So we'll have a 20-minute time if you want to stick around. If you're a new member or a new subscriber, you'll be able to talk in about 20 minutes. I'm trying to limit the trolls here, but this is kind of an interesting conversation, and I want as many people to participate in it as possible. It's nice to see you. Good morning. Phil, good morning. It's nice to see you. So it appears that he was at his home. He saw investigators approaching his home, and he took off out the back and into the woods. And he's not the only one in this specific school that has been accused of this. Timothy Lee Meter was jailed 2 years ago. So it sounds like this is a culture. Okay, when you start hearing about multiple people from the same school, you're talking about a culture that has been born in that area. And so now you have a second person, and this is probably not the only other person. So it makes you wonder what is going on here and how many more. And quite frankly, if this is the second teacher in 2 years, they need to do a review of all their teachers at the school. Okay, they need to do full background checks on everybody in their school. If anything is coming up, they need to let them go and get new people in there. They don't need this. And quite frankly, if this is true, somebody needs to be suing this school. Somebody should have sued this school 2 years ago. And the reason why I go to suing is because when you make them financially responsible and you start spending that money, they have corrective measures very quickly. Okay? This is schools, politicians, counties. You start going after their purse strings, they start corrective measures immediately, okay? Because it costs a lot of money to go to court. And we want the corrective measures. And if this is the second time and they've had literally no lawsuits, well, it's time to start suing the school. They're putting these students in danger, okay? Somebody's dropping the ball somewhere. And we need to find out why and where and make sure it doesn't happen again. 2 teachers in 2 years? This is a problem, folks. This is a major problem. So we have then a teacher at the school at Big Stone Gap in Virginia was also arrested and charged with 1 count of child solicitation and 2 counts of indecent liberties. According to the Commonwealth attorney, he later pled guilty on 2 counts of indecent liberties with a child, serving 1 year and 3 months in prison. Not enough. What is wrong with these people's laws? Here, you screw with our kids under 12, you got a death sentence, okay? We know for a fact that Tennessee just moved their child diddling up from a misdemeanor to a felony, which is just insane to me in 2025. And here we've got people being able to have, relations with children and only spend 1 year in jail. What? What's going on with you folks in Virginia? Why aren't you guys on Dolly's ass asking him to get out there and start advocating for the freaking children in his state? This shit wouldn't be happening in my state. What the hell? What the hell? 1 year and 3 months for actual, the whole kit and caboodle. The flip. Woo. Meter 30 was immediately banned from school and remains active on Virginia State Police SO registry. Here's the other two teachers right there. That I think this is the one that only got 1 year. Who wants that? Who wants that? Ugh. I'm freaking 46 years old and That's probably why they go for the kids. They're more manipulative. Incredibly, a 3rd high school employee in the same Wise County school system was also arrested and charged earlier this year with 3 counts of carnal knowledge, 1 count of taking indecent liberties with a child by person or custodial supervisory relationship. What is going on in this county? Tyler J. Tibbs, 28, who worked for Coburn Middle School, a short 25-minute drive from Union High School, was arrested in August before being taken to Southwest Virginia Regional Jail. Somebody needs to be knocking on Dolly's door. Dolly, your ass needs to be out here in this community, and you need to be taking your damn camera and your microphone and shoving it in politicians' faces and asking them, what the hell kind of environment are they creating where they have all these teachers thinking that their pupils are X toys for their picking and choosing? It's a disgusting, immoral. Good gracious. Dolly's right there. Why is he not covering this case? Why is he not over there shoving his camera? I'd have my bullhorn. I'd have my bullhorn. Dolly needs to get a bullhorn. Somebody send Dolly a bullhorn and an address and some gas money since he's too broke to get off his ass to go out here and advocate. It was later reported that he was bonded out of DeField Regional Jail for $25,000. Wow. They don't really care. You know what? When you hear stuff like this, they tell you they don't care about adults messing with children. You know how you can tell? Because their laws suck and they don't do anything to these people when they go and ruin a child's life. So obviously Virginia supports this kind of behavior toward children, because they don't really have laws to prevent it, okay? There's nothing here that's preventing $25,000 for somebody to pull up. I mean, shit, I'm a freaking content creator. I could poop $25,000 if I needed to, right? I mean, kind of, sort of, with the help of you guys. But we could poop $25,000 if we wanted to, and you got somebody that's on the tit of the government, right? They could poop $25,000, no problem. He's probably got a credit card with a $25,000 credit limit on it. You know what I'm saying? He's a teacher. Just like, you would not be able to diddle with a child and be out on $25,000 bond in Florida. It just doesn't happen. We're this county right now, 15 minutes from Virginia right now. I take the Holy Spirit there and court of heaven. They say I can't have a bullhorn. Well, then become the bullhorn. They told me, they let me have my bullhorn in front of Gabby's, but then at a certain time they said you can't have the bullhorn anymore. I can only scream at the house. So I'm like, we had one of the Northport City Police Departments do. I had them get the machine out, the decibel machine, and I was talking in my bullhorn. And I was screaming, and the decibels of me screaming at the house were higher than me talking in my bullhorn. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you win. I'll scream. That was funny. He's wanted for 5 counts of child P, 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor, before he mysteriously vanished. Earlier Tuesday, the coach's wife broke her silence on his charges exclusively with the Daily Mail. Turner appeared upbeat about his undefeated team in the eerie resurfacing clips from days of his disappearance. He disappeared in the Appalachian Mountains, it sounds like, or something like that. It says right here. Turner appears upbeat about his undefeated team in the eerie resurfacing of clip from days just before his disappearance in Virginia's Appalachian Mountains. So he's in the mountains. It's going to be a battle here. Our kids will be ready for 46-year-old told Union Sports Network on November 15th about the upcoming opponent. Their coaches do a great job. They're terrific athletes. They're very athletic. They're very strong. So let's see what his wife said. What did his wife say? That's going to be interesting. Let me just do here. Travis Turner, wife. Travis Turner, wife. Speaks out. There's one. Let's see what she says. Okay, so wife of Virginia football coach Travis Turner denies accusation her husband is involved with child P. See, this is where they manipulate people. Oh my gosh, they're setting him up. I can already hear it. In the back of my head. The wife of missing Virginia football coach Travis Turner denied allegations that her husband was involved with child P and attempts to have S with minors. Of course, a wife's not going to believe that about her husband unless her husband has been known to do that. But it sounds like he might be pretty manipulative. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm sorry. Wife Leslie Turner, 46, told the Daily Mail. She must be distraught. I can't imagine being a wife and learning this about my husband. My husband that I've been doting on. That's just this all-star in our community. And now it's like, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine how she must feel. The 46-year-old coach is being investigated for 5 counts of possession of child P, along with using a computer to solicit minors, but his wife insisted all of this was false and that her husband was a family man. I believe he is a family man. He just has a propensity for something. None of that is true. He's a good dad and a good husband. Then why did he flee? You know, I mean, there is that. If he's this good man, you know, I've been in trouble with the law. I've never fled. I've always held my head up high and I've always showed up. Okay? Why? Because I believe I was innocent. And so, and even if I did believe I was guilty, I'm not going to flee. That's stupid. But I've never been faced with charges, you know, significant charges where it's going to throw me years and years and years in jail, you know? So, there is that. But, you can't scream that you're innocent and then flee. I mean, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. How does it work that way? So police headed to Turner's Appalachian home to question him for their investigation Thursday, but were informed he wasn't home and was missing. So that's when they were told, you guys, you remember, we were at Brian Laundrie's house, and guess what? He was supposed to be home until he was missing too. And guess where they found him? They found him out in the woods with a boo-boo, like a pew-pew, to the cranium. So, hey, West Virginia Holler Girl, it's nice to see you. Did I miss anybody else as other people come in? I think I said hi to you, Mama. It's nice to see you all. Thank you. Gina, I miss you. I said good morning. It's nice to see you, love. I hope everything's going well for you, sweetie. Phil, it's nice to see you. I think I said me. I think I said hi to you. I think that might be it. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. Vicky, good morning. So his wife says their family has been distraught since he vanished and are standing by him. We want him home. That's it, she says. We are all hanging in there until we get news. She also brushed off rumors that he has been spotted with a rifle since his disappearance, telling the Mail she was told not to comment. So he might actually have a firearm with him. That's not good. However, a long gun is a little bit different than but a rifle's a long gun. So it's going to be hard to pew himself, but it's still protection. It's showing that he, if people are going to start coming after him, he could turn very violent. And she's trying to say that he's innocent. Nobody that's innocent runs off into the woods with a pew, okay? Thank you, Ashley. Good morning. It's nice to see you. I just, that these actions to me, I mean, just bear with me, but maybe raise your hand. If these actions seem like a sign of guilt, I guess is the word I'm using. They seem like guilty actions. So if you agree that these are guilty actions, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that these are just, maybe he's scared or there's another reason for him acting this way, running into the woods with a firearm, put a 2 in the chat. And if we get some 2s, maybe explain what other reason would he be doing this? Is he scared? Is he, what is the case? What have you? So everybody kind of believes that this is guilty actions. Me personally, I think that these are guilty actions because, again, I think we've all been in trouble, maybe not to this extent, but I know a lot of the people here have been in legal trouble. A lot of people that monitor this stuff, even myself. I come from a history of substance abuse and, pulling myself out of that kind of arena. And so I think we've all had our, at least for me, I know I've had my feel of being in trouble, getting in trouble and being arrested and stuff like that. I've never fled, okay? I've never fled. I've never committed a homicide. I've never, done any violent crime, okay? I really haven't. I've defended myself. Because sometimes you got to take a walk for that. I've had alcohol, stuff go on in my history that I was actually convicted for. None of the other stuff I've ever been convicted for. So I was never really facing any type of real jail time. So I guess I wouldn't be the best example to use because he's probably running because he's scared he's going to have to face some jail time. But innocent people don't run. That's the point I'm making, even as difficult as it was, I've gotten myself into a pickle that I was very worried about. I was concerned that this was going to be a pickle, but I knew I didn't do anything wrong. I knew that the search and seizure was unlawful, and I didn't know if the courts were going to agree, but they did. And so I was able to walk out of there for that. But that was the only time that I was very, 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 very concerned because that felt like a setup to me, and I felt vindicated when I left there. But even that could have given me some jail time if I was convicted, and so that was all tossed out. So I still showed up, not knowing, but I still showed up. I didn't grab a firearm, which you guys know I always had a firearm. I didn't grab a firearm. I didn't go fleeing the streets. I stayed and I held my head up high and just walked through whatever I needed to walk through, and until I was vindicated, which I was vindicated 99% of the stuff that I got myself into. Turner was the head football coach of Union High School near Big Stone Gap, where his staffer was recently placed on leave and barred from school grounds or interacting with students. So it sounds like his staffer may have known about this as well. Both the school and Turner's wife have declined to confirm whether he was the individual placed on leave. Turner was a celebrated member of the town, which revered its football team. And I gotta imagine, with an undefeated team, they were just rooting this guy on. He was probably bigger than anybody could think of. I mean, think about this. This man, being the head football coach in this area of Virginia, and having an undefeated season. This guy was next to God to them, okay? You had God in this coach, okay? I don't know if you know about football and football junkies, but football is placed, our men place football up there near God, okay? It goes God, football, family, okay? I don't know if you know about football junkies, okay? Family comes third, okay? So I'm just telling you, this coach was loved, folks. Loved. His wife was loved. They were probably, people looked at them and probably idolized their life. And this wife, I can't imagine her devastation. I'm sure she's hoping and praying that this isn't true. But I as a woman, I have to believe that in the back of her mind, she knows. I think when you're living life, you don't see the red flags. Even when you know something doesn't feel right, I feel like when we're in a stable relationship, I feel like we dismiss those things because we justify it. It's got to be in my head. Excuse me for the hiccups. It's got to be in my head, right? We're overreacting. There's no way. I mean, because that was the way I did. I saw a lot of red flags in Jonathan, but I dismissed him because I never believed he would lie to me, which sounds pretty stupid, but I just had, I was in a very comfortable, I trusted him. I didn't have, even when I always thought it was me, he's never lied to me. He's never done, but he lied to me all the time. I never questioned it because I never had a reason to, so I have to think of it like that. But when I found out that there was more than just Magnolia, I mean, there was a lot. I realized that I was manipulated. I was manipulated from the time I met that man to the time our relationship ended. That was all there is to it. He was just a manipulator. And there's no way in hell up until that moment, there was no way in hell I would ever believe that he would lie to me. You guys understand that? Up until the moment he was caught, I never believed that man would lie to me. And then when I realized it, I looked back and you saw all the red flags. And it was just like, I dismissed all of this stuff because I trusted him. I believed him. I never believed, out of all the things, even if he didn't like me or wanted to, I always believed he would just say, hey, I want to move on. I never believed that he would be that guy. And he turned out to be, that's what was so heartbreaking for me, because he was that guy. And so I've got to put myself in that, because I can identify that in this story, that wife is in complete denial. She loves her husband. Her husband is this great guy. She's been proud all of these years to be married with him, has children with him. I can't imagine her looking at her husband as a diddler, especially with their children, and seeing him being so good with them and stuff like that. And that's what these predators are, almost like serial killers in a way, right? They have to live this double lifestyle. And I think that these diddlers live this double lifestyle. They're always looking over their shoulder. They're always trying to find a way to go into the dark corner to watch whatever. It's just a sick, twisted obsession. And how he got into the obsession, I don't know. But from my understanding, it's kind of like drugs. Once you do it once, you kind of get hooked, which is, again, pretty sick. You get away with it first time, you get away with it the second time, and then all of a sudden you're doing it more and more and more. And now with all of our new technology, and every single year we're getting more classified technology, right? The search engines, the social media oligarchs, they're adding, now that we have AI, they're even being able to put a lot of this stuff on, what I call the rotisserie mode, right? The set it and forget it mode, where now that they can incorporate AI, like a Doge type of thing in their system, I bet you they're going to be automatically notifying law enforcement about people at a rapid pace. You don't be messing with these things. Internet is becoming, it is becoming a glass house, so to speak. At some point, everybody is going to know exactly what you're doing online. Okay, it's more transparent now. Every year it gets a little more transparent. You're not going to get away with it. I worry about the stuff that I search for, doing my job here covering true crime. And I'm thinking, I pray to God nobody drops dead, around me. Anybody that I know, if they've been murdered and they're close to me, I mean, it's only going to take like the FBI looking at my search history, and they're going to be like, I think it's this lady over here. Right? It's this one. This one's a crazy one. She looks at some weird shit, right? Like, I feel like that's going to be, it's only 4. Oh, good gracious. Oh, my goodness. Going back to sleep till 7. Well, you go back to sleep, Alicia. We'll see you at 7. You can come on back. You can come on back and be part of the replay crew. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. It's too late for me. I've already got the caffeine flowing. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. I'm still dying. I want that apple pie. I like, Thanksgiving can't get here quick enough. I'm ready to dive into that apple pie. I really am. Oh my goodness, that apple pie. If you guys haven't seen it, I made an apple pie. I didn't make it authentic. I could have made it authentic. I used canned filling. I know. Don't hate me. I wanted to make a pie, but I wasn't trying to do all that. Okay, I'm just saying. Could I have done it? Yes, I could have. And then I later found out that our beautiful Lisa B. Always sends me, lo and behold, apple pie recipe. And I got the apple pie recipe after I already made the apple pie. It did happen. All right, getting back to this. If you guys are coming here, we have a manhunt. We have a manhunt underway right now, folks. If you are part of the true crime community, you're going to want to stop and listen. This right here is Travis Turner. He's an undefeated football coach out of Virginia. He's a football coach, the head football coach for Union High School in Virginia. He is currently on the run. There was an investigation for CSam materials. And if you guys know what CSam is, it's child abuse materials, CSam. And it's a better way for us to say it than say stuff that triggers social media. I don't like social media. I think we should be able to talk journalistically as long as we're talking and using proper defined terms. But, we will play the game for the purposes of this case. He's been accused of CSam. We are learning right now. This is jaw-dropping. We are learning right now he's not the only one. He's not the only one from this school. He's not the only one from this county. Apparently, there is a culture in this community and within multiple schools where we have teachers watching and God knows doing what else to themselves while watching CSam material on computers, potentially in their own classrooms. Can you imagine that? On lunch break, you don't see the teacher in the teacher's lounge eating. They're quietly in their own room with the door locked, eating their lunch with nobody in there. I wonder what they're doing. Disgusting. I am shocked, folks, that multiple people in this county in teacher positions have been arrested for CSam. And this is the latest guy, okay? This is the undefeated coach for Union High School. The undefeated coach for Union High School. And guess what? He's on the run. He's on the run. Cops came knocking at his door. He snuck out the back. Well, it sounds like with a rifle. He might be armed and dangerous. He might be armed and dangerous, and I think that that's important because what pissed me off with Brian Laundrie, I will be honest with you, is we're out there looking for Brian Laundrie, and not one law enforcement officer out there ever informed us that he was armed or dangerous. And we're out there searching for him. I didn't have a bulletproof vest on, and I damn sure didn't have another firearm with me, which I am licensed to carry, right? I have concealed weapons. We've now have open carry, so I can open carry or conceal carry a weapon. Not at this moment for other reasons, but we will get back to that. We will get back to that. And just thinking that this guy could be armed, and they're trying to keep that from the public that's looking for him. They're putting this stuff out there. That to me is very dangerous. That is a dangerous combination when law enforcement is putting out that they have a manhunt for this man and failing to disclose to these people that this man could potentially be armed and dangerous. Coach is gonna pull a Travis Decker in my. I think, you know what, Lisa, that's the first thing I thought of, but because it was a rifle and not a handgun, I was thinking, you know, that's gonna be a little difficult, you know. But I do believe he is too. But it does concern me with him having potentially a rifle, because that's telling me he's going to be perching. He potentially is going to be perching up. When you have a rifle, you want an elevated position, okay? And you want to see people coming to you. And if he went into the Appalachians, it doesn't sound, I didn't hear about him having a backpack, but if they omitted him having a rifle, then they probably omitted some other supplies that he may have taken with him. Those supplies are going to be important because we're in colder weather. So is he prepared for the weather? You're talking about the Appalachian Mountains. You got to talk about snow, cold, hypothermia. There's a whole host of other situations that could happen with this man. Now, this man fled. In my opinion, I understand the wife doesn't want to believe her husband did this. I'm sure all of us can understand that. You know, a woman has laid next to this man. She knows her husband. This is not her husband, right? This is that double lifestyle. But, you know, my heart bleeds for her. My heart bleeds for her because she went from having a normal life. She is a victim of him. Okay, let's just be honest. There's the victims that he was watching, and there's also the victims of his family and friends, because people don't want to believe this man did this. His wife doesn't believe he did this, yet his actions show he did. He left and ran out the back. Law enforcement's knocking on the front of his door, and he's running out the back of the door. He ran out into the woods with potentially a firearm. That is guilty. That's guilty. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Like I said, I was scared. There's been a couple cases that I was very, very terrified of going and dealing with, you know, for myself. Nothing to this degree. But, you know, something that for me, but even if I was dealing with something at this degree, would I run? I mean, look at Ashley Buzzard, for example. I mean, she's been going to court. She hasn't been running. Every time they want her to go to court, she shows up, right? And people are looking at her like she unalived her child, which I know she did not. And, you know, so that's serious, right? That's a serious case. You don't see Ashley Buzzard running. Why? Because she knew she wasn't guilty of unaliving her child. And then we have this guy. He's on the run for CSam. He's on the run for CSam. So where is this case going to go? I don't know. But I want you guys to look at his face. He's not going to be able to change too much. He's not going to be able to grow a full man's shoe in a matter of days. Now he's going to start trying to get some stubble on his face. That is the one disguise men have that are natural, okay? Only his wife would probably know what he looks like with a full face, a beard, right? Or maybe his family, his mom, his dad. We don't know. The only photo they have of him is with a hat on, so we don't know if he's balding. It appears from the side, he has quite the shaved, very short hair. We could assume that. But I'd have to think that he's going to try to mimic or disguise himself. He's going to try to disguise himself somewhere, somebody not looking like him. It's just going to be very difficult because he's going to want it to gravitate toward a hat. But people are used to him being in a hat. So he might be without a hat. He might be starting to get some stubble growing on his face. He might be laying low. He might be wearing really heavy coats. He might be wearing a wig for all we know. We don't know, He might be looking like a bum trying to blend in with a homeless camp. We don't know. Wife probably, what about the game? People like this have a sense of celebrity, in my opinion. Yeah, and he's well known and beloved in the community. He was probably, he's the head coach of a freaking a perfect season. I mean, like he's like, he's higher up than the mayor of that town, that city. Like he's above the mayor. I mean, you guys don't know how it is with football. We are football junkies, okay? Football is America's lifeblood. I mean, really it is. I know that we've been kind of getting away from all the woke shit in the NFL, but at the end of the day, these college and high school teams, those are some good games. I don't know what it is, but you talk about if you really want to watch a good game. I don't really watch the NFL for good games. You want to watch a good game. I think college is the best if you want to watch good, challenging games. I think of college football. High school football, I find myself getting frustrated with because, they're still, green, and you see stuff in the bleachers that they don't see, and it's like, come on, you didn't see that? What's wrong with you? But I do like a good high school game as well. I do like, and this was an undefeated team. I don't know. I just, I think you're right. He had to be walking around with, quite the ego, Watch NFL and college football. I like college. I'm done. Once they took my Bud Light away, if you guys don't know anything about me, I used to be a Bud Light drinker. Yes, I know. I used to, but I did. I drank. Bud Light was if I could have Bud Light, that would be all I'd ever drink, right? I don't drink anymore. No Bud Light, no nothing. Coffee. That's my pastime now. But when they went woke on but that was it for me. I was done. Like, that's what I drank. They took that away from me. Now I got no reason to watch NFL, because it was the NFL that ruined that for me. So I kind of anti-NFL. I like the Bucks because I've been with the Bucks since they were, the Buccaneers with the orange and black. They've changed their, not really crazy about the updated. I like the old version of our Buccaneers. I like the actual Buccaneer being on their jersey, the orange and black. I love the orange and black. But now they're red and black. So whatever. So anyways, getting off topic, we do have a situation here. This is Travis Turner. If you're just coming in, we're going to be closing out this show here in just a few moments. But this is Travis Turner. He's on the run right now. He is a football coach from Union High School in Virginia. He went missing. We didn't understand why he was missing. And then we learned over the last 48 hours that he's missing because he's wanted in a CSam investigation. If you don't know what CSam is, it's child exploitation or abuse, the A. So C for child, S for X, right? And A is for abuse, and then the M is for material. So that's that's CSam, and that's kind of the best way. And the reason why I'm educating you on that, because you're going to hear that, because we're all kind of converting to that lingo when we're referring to child P on computers and stuff like that. That is what is classified as CSAM. Okay, so instead of saying child P, we're just going to say CSAM. It means the same thing. Child SX material, you know, abuse material. So, anyways, that's what he's here for, or that's what he's on the run for. We are just learning through the last article that law enforcement nor his wife are talking about this potential rifle he might have. So it sounds like he might be armed and dangerous. And if he's armed and dangerous and law enforcement is failing to tell the public, I will go off. You do not put the public in danger because you don't want to make them fearful. I don't care about the fear factor. You have the right to be transparent and let people protect themselves the way they need to protect themselves. If I find out Virginia and Union County is hiding the fact that this man is armed, and they're putting all of this out here on social media and mainstream media for the public to help, and they're failing to tell the public he's armed and dangerous, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to be very, very upset. We do not put the public in harm's way. This man is obviously going from a lap of luxury to possibly a long prison sentence, okay? He is on the run for his life, okay? People don't play like that. And if he's got a firearm, the public needs to know. We're going to stay on the policy of an ounce of prevention. We're going to stand on the fact that we're just going to say that we believe he's armed and dangerous. We don't want anybody approaching this guy. I'm not going to wait for law enforcement to do it. If they don't want to say that this guy is armed or potentially armed and dangerous, we're going to put that label on this case right now. We've got enough information that it's plausible that he might be. And I'm sorry, that's enough for us to make our audience concerned for their safety. If you see this guy, you do not approach him. You get into a safe place and you call law enforcement. He could be armed and dangerous. We do not want anybody approaching this coach by any stretch of the imagination. If you are hiking in the Appalachian Mountains, be careful. Look up. There might be somebody in a tree, okay? You might startle that person. Your life could be in jeopardy, and the state of Virginia may not be letting you know that. So just be careful if you're out in the Virginia area. Use vigilance. Don't go anywhere alone because you're making yourself a victim. If he needs to get out, he may need to carjack somebody. I mean, you got to look at all avenues. I'm not saying this guy is willing to do all that. I just know that people that have nothing to lose have nothing to lose. And we have to remember that. And people that have nothing to lose and potentially have firearms, they are lethal weapons, okay? And the audience out there and the public out there need to know that. And if law enforcement is unwilling to tell people that, then we will protect the people here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. And I would say use lots of caution if you see this guy and you are in the area of Virginia. He is on the move. It sounds like he's on foot. I don't believe he's going to have a whole lot of people helping him, but he seems to be convincing. His wife doesn't believe he could have done this. She doesn't understand why he's on the run. She just knows that he could not have possibly done this. God bless her. I know I don't want to condemn her because I do believe that a lot of women in cases like this are none the wiser. And I don't believe they will ever want to believe their doting husbands could be capable of something like this. I don't know what's gotten into men across this country, not just men, women as well. We've seen an unsavory amount of women in reported doing things with their students, their pupils. And that has been alarming. That has been a very frustrating process for me because once upon a time, it was really only that we only had to worry about the male teachers. And now we're having to worry about the female teachers. And why is this an uptick? I think it truly has to do with our culture in our Department of Education. This whole entire, why are our students becoming stupider and stupider and stupider? Because we quit educating them. We're starting to talk to them about transitioning and transgender. Who gives a shit? That is none of the public educators' business. Okay? Who is screwing who in your student council is none of their business. Sexualizing everything in the schools is what is causing this epidemic in these teachers. It's this culture that we're bred by the DEI bullshit, disgusting groomers. People that are teaching this shit in school are criminals. And they're groomers. And they need to start being treated as such. They need to be treated as such. And you know what? They need to start going to jail. All of them. You're a principal and you want to talk about, taking it in this place and that place and how it feels. You deserve jail. You are a predator among our children. You deserve jail. You deserve jail. You deserve jail. You deserve jail. This is becoming unacceptable. It's becoming too widespread in our education. Something has got to be done. We've got female teachers screwing the students. We got male teachers watching pee on their computers. Enough is enough. Something has to be done. We need to go back to the drawing board. Every county, every city, every state needs to reevaluate every single teacher and do a thorough background check. Thorough background check. If they've left other schools, why? Why? This is too widespread, folks. Too widespread. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this. Send your stuff. Send your perspectives to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Do you know where he might be moving to? Are you looking into his history? Do you know some information that might be relevant to this case? Send that to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button on your way in or your way out. After I end this, you should be able to slide over and hype this live. Please hype this live. This is important information. We have a coach on the run that is accused of CSam, and he is not the only teacher in this district that has been charged and convicted of these types of crimes, leaving me to believe this is an acceptable culture in that community that has to come to an end. Please support me on our fight with this. Send me your information. Teaching licenses need to be pulled, in my opinion. I think our whole entire country needs a reboot. I think we need to go back. Every city, every state needs to go back and pull every single teacher and do a fresh investigative background reapplication process for every teacher across the United States to weed out these predators that are being able to blend in with the good teachers. We need to be able to find them. I know there's psychological tests that can be had by these teachers that will help identify them a little bit better as being problematic teachers. I know we have those types of capabilities, and we need to start using those type of capabilities, because other than that, we need to start suing the shit out of these schools until they get a clue. I'm millions and millions and millions of dollars. Break the freaking, when they're getting tired of it, they're going to start double researching their teachers, because nobody wants to be sued. Nobody wants to be broke. Nobody wants to go through all of this. And I think that that's what we're going to have to start doing and fighting back with these universities and these schools. These universities are robbing our children blind and sending them off without a stitch of education that's going to do absolutely nothing for them except keep them in $200,000 worth of debt before they even leave, and then they have to go to Starbucks to work. That is the biggest racket I've ever seen in my life. It is fraud. It is fraud among students, and the only way you're going to fight back is start taking these schools in class action lawsuits and demanding these monies back, and bankrupting those damn schools and getting them the hell out of practice. We need good, reputable schools teaching our students. And this higher education crap is for the birds. I believe in on-the-job training. Even my AA and paralegal studies, that was all on-the-job training. I didn't need to go to school. They required me to spend $40,000 to get a license to go and get taught by attorneys. That's what they did. It was bullshit. It was a waste of money. Many of these degrees are a waste of money. They do not educate you. You just need on-the-job training, and that's where we need to get back to, is this on-the-job training and credit hours for on-the-job training. And when we get back to that, you're going to have better services from people and that don't have a laundry list of debt to boot with that degree. I'm sorry. The school system has been abused and it has taken advantage of too many people. People are literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt working for Walmart. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. Our students deserve a path forward, and they deserve a path forward without being saddled with hundreds of thousands of dollars with debt getting started in life. We didn't have that for us. Our parents didn't have that for them, and we're definitely not doing that to our children and grandchildren. So something has got to change in this country, and we have to be that change. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. We are going to be rolling out with shows all day. My computer is down. I don't know what happened to it. When I went in there, it was completely dead. So obviously, I'm having some battery issues with it. It's not a plug issue, it's a battery issue. My battery's starting to fail on my MacBook Pro. I did know that, a year ago, so I went ahead and preemptively ordered a new battery. I just haven't installed it yet. Because I've been just running it out. I didn't want to put a new battery in because, off the market batteries, they never perform like the real stuff. So I've been trying to stretch that battery out. So I'm hoping that the computer will charge and we can run the show later today from the studio. But we may be like this all day long. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We're going to be talking about new cases. I'm going to make a policy when we bring up a new case. I'm changing that. Instead of a 2-day, we'll change it to 20 minutes. So the new people that are coming in to discuss the new cases, they'll have an opportunity to speak about it before we turn it back over to a 2-day process. Usually people come in, and when we start a new case, they come almost immediately and start subbing up. So after that, 2 days after that, we'll start changing that to a 2-day requirement and try to do it that way. But today's been pretty decent. So even with the 20 minutes, we haven't had a whole lot of trolls. So as long as we keep it like this, I don't mind, keeping it open for people to communicate. We just don't want the garbage in here. We just want to keep it all above board and be able to talk about the cases we want to talk about. That's it. So, thank you, Michelle. I hope you're doing well today. Hugs and kisses. And guys, remember, tomorrow it's going to be Thanksgiving. I am going to turn the show on literally as soon as I wake up. We're going to get up together. We're going to hang out together for an hour or two. We'll see how the morning in, because I know you guys are going to all be up trying to go around. You guys are going to be anxious, going to have anxiety. You got a lot of shit to do. So we're going to just give you some entertainment while you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Everybody's got a bird. You're either putting your bird in the night before, you got to get up first thing in the morning and put your bird in. Either way, you guys got to be up. So we're going to be rolling out with our show first thing in the morning to get you guys up and in the mood for Thanksgiving. So I'll be steam cleaning. Tomorrow. Well, my main focus today is getting the tree up. I want the tree up. I worked my ass off to get the lights around outside. I have worked my ass off to get the whole entire living room reorganized and moved around so I can put my tree in front of the freaking window. My living room went from being a wide open living room to being a closed off tiny cozy living room, but that's okay. It's for Christmas. It's for Christmas. Hey Rena, it's nice to see you. So I have to work 8 to 4. My boyfriend better have it done. Good luck with that one. He'll do his best. Right? He'll do his best. I don't trust. Like if I like with my husband, I was always thankful, right? Because it's like, well, and I never really, I couldn't stand, like, his cleaning was just surface cleaning. It was not, and I've got, over the years, I kind of got surface cleaning too. Like, I moved my chair and had a shit ton of dust behind it. So I know I haven't been doing deep cleaning, okay? I'm just saying, not to tell on myself, but, I was just always thankful for whatever Vince did do. I have to be honest with you, He was a good guy. He was like one of my best friends. I wish we still had our friendship like we did before we got married, but we don't. We got married. We weren't really, I wasn't really in love. I mean, I thought I was in love with him when I married him, but I realized I was just happy to have the stability. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the guy. I made a mistake. And so, I'm not willing to make another mistake until I get it right. So, I'll be here just sitting here tapping, twiddling the old thumbs, until the day comes where I was like, yep, that's the guy. That's him. That's him. Until that day comes, I'll be right here all by myself until I meet him. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. We don't play in other people's pond. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'd rather be single than fishing someplace I don't belong. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, good gracious. Good gracious. Here's to all our single women out there that's going to be celebrating the holidays. Woohoo! Woohoo! You don't take no shit. Woohoo! Michelle's trying to strap herself down. She wants her boyfriend. Woohoo! Woohoo! No. I'm just kidding, Michelle. I'm sure he's a great guy. He's going to do great. He's going to do great. And we're going to manifest. We're going to manifest greatness for you. Okay, Michelle? We're going to manifest greatness for you. I'm single. I got to tell you. I mean, at first, it was really bad at first. But yeah, I like Delilah. I got Delilah. Where is she? Well, she's not in here. Oh, there she is. Oh, you're right here. You're laying right next to me. How did I not see you there? I don't know. This is how she is. She's so good. Like, you don't even know she's there. But then I got a Delilah, and everything started, looking up for me. This is how she sleeps, okay? She does take up the bed, okay? She takes up the damn bed. I got to wake up 3 times a night and push her over to her side of the bed, okay? She doesn't understand there's a my side and there's a her side. She starts out on her side, and she winds up on my side, and I don't like it. So I have to push her, like, Delilah. And she doesn't want to. Then when I push her and I get adjusted again, then she moves back over so she can lean against me. I guess she likes my warmth. I love Delilah. I do too. I don't know what I'd do without this little cute thing. Look at her arms. Look at this. She's just too cute. She says, I'm a big girl now, Mommy. I lost all my baby teeth. I'm a big girl. I'm no longer a baby. Quit treating me like a baby, Mommy. Yeah, I'm going to treat her like a baby until... Even when she's 17 years old. I feel like she's going to be a 20-year-old pup. I think I'm going to be carrying her around. She's not even going to be able to walk, but I think she's going to make it to 20 years. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like she's going to make it to 20 years. She's going to be happy. She's so happy. And we do so much, and I make sure she gets plenty of exercise. I make sure she eats. I make sure she's got a healthy weight, I really work, I try to make sure she's sweet. She's a little skittish with other people, but I think that's just because she's always around me. But like when she's over at Laura's, like people she knows, she's herself. Like if we go over to your house like every weekend or regular, like at my mom's house, when we go over to my mom's house, we don't go over to my mom's house regularly. But when we go over, she just dives right in. She jumps right on the cat. I mean, she has a hell of a time, she just loves it. She loves it. But, like there was Glenn's friend came over and he had Emily's sister. Her name's Pearl. And she kind of looks like Delilah, like, the size and everything and stuff almost except white. And, so she comes over here and as soon as she walks around the corner, you heard, I'm like, Delilah, we're not mean to other animals. I am shocked. And I'm seeing looking facetious here, but I'm telling you, I was shocked. Like, she's always been such a good little girl. She loves to play with other dogs. And she's like, ew, I don't like that attitude. She's got one. So we'll have a trainer. We'll have a trainer with different dogs and stuff like that. Ones that she doesn't know, so she doesn't get like that kind of one. I like the Delilah being sweet, And like my neighbor will come across the street, and she doesn't see her very much, and she just runs out there. But she doesn't. She's just saying hi. She likes you. I don't think she likes her. I'm like, Delilah, what? She's our neighbor. Got to be nice to the neighbor lady. Good gracious. Then she'll shut up, but whatever. All right, guys, we will be back later today to go over. I don't know if I'm going to be covering this case later today. I'm looking into this. Like, This seems like a story on top of a story on top of a story. And the reason why I'm saying this sounds like a story on top of a story on top of a story is because we missed the other people that were arrested for the same crap because they didn't go on the run. This Yahoo decided to go on the run, and now he's going viral, right? And so I'm just like, now we're learning that this guy's not like the only guy that's done this in this community. What the hell is going on? That's the other story, right? So it's a story on top of a story on top of a story. This is like 3 stories in one, folks. So we might dive into this a little deeper because, I mean, how often do we have all these teachers in one district going to jail for this crap here? That's a problem for me. That's a culture for me, okay? That's a cultural problem. So we need to break that culture. And what's causing this? Something's causing this. Something's causing people to look. And to me, it's depraved. It's depraved. Normal adults don't want to see that. Normal adults seeing that breaks their hearts. Okay? We don't want to ever think that a child or a little girl or an underage person is ever put in a position like this. It destroys their ever being, their fabric of their humanity. This is serious stuff, and it doesn't matter what part of the world it's happening. It's happening to someone. It's happening to someone. And that breaks my heart. So this is enough. If you guys are thinking, if there's a guy out there that comes across this show and you're entertaining the possibility of looking, how? How can you hurt someone? How can you support someone hurting someone? It's not even worth the look. You know why? You know why I'm not addicted to H? Because I don't even want to know what it's like. I don't even want to know what it's like, right? That's why. Because if I wanted to, I'd probably be down that road. Thank God, by the grace of God, never wanted to know, never cared to know, thought it was poison. Even with the poison I was pumping in my body. That was poison. That was more poison than what I was doing. Never wanted to know. By the grace of God. So for the men and women out there that just want to know, don't. It's not worth it. This man is on the run with a rifle. A stellar coach. Over what? Images? Images? It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. All right, guys. Again, rock it out. We'll see you soon. God bless you. Get those turkeys going. Get that stuff. Guys, start doing your prep work. Okay? There's a lot of stuff you can be doing. Mashed potatoes, we all like them fresh, but you know what you can do? You can get your bucket of water, and you can start chopping, peeling and chopping and getting those potatoes in the water. One task completely done, then tomorrow all you got to do is drain the water and chop them up and get them boiling. Okay? You can go ahead and get your cornbread stuffing started. So how you do that is you start your pans of cornbread, right? If you're doing cornbread from scratch, you have to start your cornbread. So get your cornbread. Your cornbread can be done tonight. That's one less thing you have to do tomorrow. There are so many things you guys can do today. You guys are doing deviled eggs, boil the eggs tonight. You're doing green bean casserole, go ahead and get that mixed up tonight and set in the refrigerator. And don't put the onion sprinkles on the top until that's ready to go in the oven tomorrow. All of these things are prep work that you guys can do today to help take some of that anxiety away from you tomorrow. The more you can get done today, the less you have to worry about tomorrow. Just remember that. And go ahead and plan. You know exactly how long your bird's going to be in there, what needs to go in your bird. Your bird can set for about, 30 to 40 minutes, even up to an hour. So you can go ahead and have that resting while you're cooking your other stuff. What needs to go in next? Have your order down. At what time during the turkey process do you need to start those potatoes? You need to start writing all that stuff down. My stuff is all instant. Well, then it's very easy for you. In 30 minutes, everything's ready. Ding! Ding! So, everybody else, not so much. But there's a lot of stuff you can do. Macaroni and cheese, another great option. You can go ahead and get all that mixed up. the night before, put it in the fridge, and stick it in the oven the day of, top it with the cheese, whatever the case may be. A lot of prep work can be done today. I've already got my apple pie done. Desserts are great. You can be doing all of those. So hopefully we're getting you guys started for your Thanksgiving week right. We're almost there, guys. Tomorrow's the big day. If you guys have those secret recipes that you would like to share to the people, we have the next show to do it. So send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com if you want to be debuted this year for the recipes. We've already got some apple pie. We've got pineapple casserole. Here, let me get out of the way. You guys can screenshot that. We got apple pie. We got the pineapple casserole. That looked good. I read it yesterday, and it actually sounds and looks really good. It's like a cheesy thing. Looks good. Then we got these pumpkin nut rolls, and here's the recipe for those pumpkin nut rolls right there. So that's kind of where we are with this. Are you ready for Thanksgiving? Bullhorn Betty is! Bullhorn Betty! Bullhorn Betty! All right, guys, I'm logging out. Don't forget Travis Turner, missing football coach on the run. He's wanted in connection with Child P, CSam material. So we need to get him off the streets. He may be armed and dangerous. Do not approach him. If you see him, just call 911. Just call 911. All right, guys. And lastly, it is the holidays, so let's keep ourselves light and bright, and let's stay away from the hate. All right, guys. We'll see you soon. God bless.